builders, parents, and collectors. On this episode of the Creation Evaluation Station, we have a very special top 10 sort of episode. We're going to be looking at the top 10, counting down the top 10 Ninjago Legacy sets from last year, 2021. There is exactly 10 sets this time, so we are accurate with our 10. That doesn't matter, but it is right this time. You may recognize some of these because these were on my some of these were on my fall 2021 list, and I probably won't be doing that again. I'll if they have now they have the core wave, so I'll have core sets, and then I'll have whatever season they're on, if I do this again going forward, and even in the past. So yeah, we looking at all last year's Legacy sets. Some of these will be familiar. It actually made it easier because I already had them ranked with each other, so I just had to put in the other sets. So let's get down to it. I'll do the countdown, and I'll just give my overall thoughts on it afterwards. Number 10. It may not be any surprise, is the final flight of the Destiny's Bounty. It was a 4+ set. It was a set I wish they just hadn't made. It's the side builds look nice, but the main build, the boat, the Destiny's Bounty is such a beautiful boat. It's really hard to do something that needs a lot of detail with a 4+ set. I mean, maybe they could have done it, but I feel like that was just a bad choice for a 4+ set. Like I said, I've said before, a 4+ set looks good. If you want a larger one, then you have multiple smaller vehicles and a building or some buildings or something like that going along with it. You don't try to make something big and detailed like the Destiny's Bounty in the 4+ line. Alright, so number 9 is Jay's Electromech. This is another 4+ set. They are lower on the list. This one definitely wasn't as bad as that one. I felt like it definitely had much more play value and stuff like that to it. The other parts of the set were really good. The mech itself just was on the weak side. I didn't like it wasn't just I didn't like it. The arms looked too short. The proportions were off, and even when you're playing with it, the shorter arms got in the way of some of the play. So yeah, let's see. Moving on to number 8 is Kai's Blade Cycle. Now this is also a 4+ set, and this one was a fine 4+ set. It is pretty much just a motorcycle, and I like the 4+ motorcycles. Yes, they all use pretty much the same body and have attachments to them, make them look a little bit different, but they work great. They roll real well, and they just work fine for a small 4+ set. And moving on to number 7. Number 7 is the Tournament of Elements. Now, this is my personal list. You might have a different opinion about this list, or about this set. And it's not a terrible set. But for me, it just didn't have enough stuff that I was interested in it. It was mostly very much a lot of figures. It's a very figure-heavy set that's designed to give you special characters that aren't in the normal sets, but were in the show, or in a particular show, episode, or definitely weren't main cast, anyways. And if you're a big collector, you're definitely going to want to get your hands on these. But for me, who's more interested in the builds, this was not that interesting. It did have a building that went with it, and you could do things with that, but it wasn't worth it for me, because you get all the figures with it, which is it was worth it money wise, but to have that building, which is more of the construction part, that amount of money for just that build for the building, it isn't worth it. So moving on to number 6. That is the right, the X1 Ninja Charger. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, I just said, I got confused with the 4+ set. No, this is the one race car that launches a motorcycle out of the front of it. And yeah, I was disappointed in this because mainly the function of it didn't work really well. The motorcycle didn't shoot out very far. Other than that, it was okay. I didn't like the looks of it. Its proportions looked a bit weird. I like the original better looking back at the original. I don't believe I have it. I'm pretty sure I don't, actually. And yeah, that wasn't exactly happy with that. So that got a number 6. Moving on up to number 5, the Overlord Dragon. Now this one, you'd think it'd be higher on my list because it's a dragon. I do like dragons. And but I felt like it was a weak dragon. I mean, it had some nice design elements, but it needed more. And it, like I said, maybe I'm just getting kind of spoiled with some of the newer, bigger dragons. But I don't know. I think, what was it? Yeah, some simple changes to the wings would have made the thing look better and work a little bit better. The tail also, because of the way it was designed, or lack thereof, because that's what it felt more like. It was just rush. It was a rush design. There could have been more thought put into it, and that's probably my biggest issue with it. Other than that, the color scheme was cool. You had some gold figures with it. I liked the head on the thing. The colors scheme was interesting, but it overall was it worked in the end. I know it was really hard to put together with all the dark colors, but that's besides the point. Alright, so number 4 was the Ultrasonic Raider. Now, this one I originally didn't like too much because I've never liked the design over all of the Ultra Raiders. But this one, it grew on me as I was building it. It was very interesting. There was some parts I wish they had done something a little different with. I think it was the connections. It's been a while since I did put that one together, but the treads on the side, I think, could have been done differently, or something would have worked a little bit better. But yeah, that was number 4 on my list. And as we're moving up, these got harder to place. But the Ultra Sonic Raider, you know, is a weird, strange vehicle, which is I like those. That's one reason why I like Ninjago, and that includes the next one here at number 3, the Boulder Blaster. And this one was really neat. It's quite a different looking plane, but it's also designed with having a automatic firing system in it, and it worked really good. And I don't have the original, but I felt like the overall set was better just from what I looked at the original. Like, there was a little side build, and the little side build to that didn't really do much. Well, this one had a purpose. It actually had a target, and for the vehicle to go rescue somebody who was in a cage. In that case, I think it was Lloyd. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, that one felt like it was definitely an improvement over the original. It looked a little bit larger, but that may or may not be true. And they both work the same. They're supposed to have the same function. I don't know how well the original worked, but just that side build alone added improvements to the set overall. Now, number 2 is Zane's Titan mech. Oh, excuse me. Zane's Titan mech battle. Yeah, so it's a mech, and it was a really awesome mech. So it's fun to put together. It's very interesting looking, at interesting knees designs. Had some good characters as well. So yeah, that was definitely up there on my list. And number 1, and if you saw my other video, I gushed about this set too. It is the Fire Dragon attack. That set was really good. I mean, it may not be everybody's cup of tea with the dragon, being that it's a more Wyvern type of dragon, and maybe could have used a little bit more posability in the wings, although I think it worked for what it needed to do. You can pull off some really nice poses with that. But the design, the overall sculpting, and I mean sculpting, he just got sculpt abs. It looks really good. The detail work on this set was really amazing. And yeah, it's probably my favorite set. Out of them, most of last year's, I don't know, I haven't finished. I still got the Islander sets to do, which is coming next in the way of Ninjago. I have other videos as well coming. So yeah, overall thoughts. That was my top 10. Top 1 is definitely the dragon. It's quite a mixed bag of sets. There were some poor choices, I think, with the 4+ set, or at least with that Destiny's Bounty. The other ones were okay, though the mech could definitely used a little bit more working into it. And it is a pretty good mixed bag, and I think it actually offered, my list is pretty good for the quality gradient for these sets. There was quite a great different gradient sets. Yeah, the 4+ ones are on the bottom, but they tend to be that way. They just, I mean, I think one of these days they are going to have a really nice one that, well, may not be the most amazing one, but it's going to set up with the regular sets at least. Though price is always going to be an issue with those. But I'm not talking about price. This is not regards to price. But yeah, I mean, there was some really good ones. There's some okay ones, and then some that just didn't work. It was a pretty good wave overall, though it came out really in 2 waves. There was ones mixed with the spring sets, and there was ones mixed with the summer sets. So actually, were they mixed with the spring, or I think the January release was just Legacy sets, and then in the spring they came out with the Islander sets. I don't remember. I'll have to, when I get to the Islander stuff, we'll find out more about that. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think of my list, and what do you think of, how would you rank them in your own mind. This is my personal list. Like I said, especially that tournament of elements list, that might be higher up for somebody just simply because they're more interested in the figures itself. I don't know. I mean, if I was judging this on by figures alone, yeah, it would definitely probably be higher. But that is my list. Let me know what your list is. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Any little thing you do helps, including sharing it and commenting down below. Even if you just say hi. I also have, well, when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification button, but also hop on over either to Twitter or Facebook. I have links down below, and follow me on either one of those or both if you want. I send out notifications myself there because they tend to go out faster than on Facebook or on YouTube. So yeah, do that. And if you want to help out more directly, I do have a Patreon. Still quite a bit of a work in progress, but there's you know, a dollar amount, $1 a month helps out every little bit, and help improve the channel as well, not just to keep things going. So that's it for me here at the Creation Evaluation Station, and I hope you have a great day. And I want to remind you that creativity is key.